Alright, you guys want to hear a true story? I met Hans Zimmer once. Yep, it was at a screening of Inception, so it was like years ago. I had like one small interaction with him. I don't even remember what I said, but I do remember him being really cool. Dunkirk. So Dunkirk is the newest movie from director Christopher Nolan. He brought us the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar, all these really prestigious films, so now he's bringing us a World War II true story. We got a bunch of soldiers that are trapped on this beach in Dunkirk in France, and the enemy is just closing in on them, so they just have to get out of there. Survival is victory, and that's pretty much Dunkirk. And of course, this being a Christopher Nolan film, a lot of people were looking forward to it. After Interstellar, which was, it was good. I loved it at first, but like as time went on, I was like, yeah, it's kind of sappy, and some things just didn't make sense. So I was like, is Christopher Nolan kind of losing it? After seeing Dunkirk, I gotta say, yeah, he kind of is. I didn't think Dunkirk was bad, but it wasn't that great. The biggest glaring issue, hands down, and I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with me here, is the characters. There's a pretty legit cast in this movie. Kenneth Branagh, Cillian Murphy, Mark Rylance, Tom Hardy, and they're not bad, you know? I mean, the actors play the characters really well. Even Harry Styles from One Direction, he's in this movie. He's not bad. The problem is the characters just don't matter. It's like there's a lot of characters in this film and none of them got to shine, but not only that, they didn't really give me a reason to care about them. We never got to see them with like their families at home, you know, we don't really know what we're fighting for here. It just starts out in the war and it ends in the war. The whole movie takes place in this one small pocket at time. I will say the most interesting character in the film is probably Cillian Murphy. He plays someone who's just been in an accident, so he's in shock, and he plays it really well. We don't know what this accident was or how he ended up being like the only survivor, but just acting wise, I think he did really well. The movie looks really good too, another thing that I think everyone's going to agree on. The movie shot really well. I love the cinematography. Like there are shots where like, you know, the camera was placed on the side of a plane and it's going through the air and it's like the sound is really big. I saw this in IMAX, so not only did it look good, but the sound, I gotta give all sorts of props to the sound in this movie. Whenever planes would pass by, it got really loud, just the seats were rumbling. It was cool. But there were points where it got really loud, to a point where I actually legitimately had to cover my ears. In one scene, I had to do that. It might have been like the sound system in the theater, but I've heard other reviews say the same thing, so I'm guessing that's just gonna be a thing in the movie. It's really loud. So that's the thing about this movie. It looks really cool and the action's really good. I like the aerial dogfights, but it was just eye candy, you know? It was more for the eyes than for the soul. It's weird that this is Nolan's shortest film yet, but it felt like it was dragging in quite a few scenes because I just didn't relate to anything that was happening on the screen. You're supposed to relate to a movie through the characters, and that just didn't happen with me in this film. Because like I said, no character had enough screen time to shine, and no one had any depth. Like at all. No character development or depth in Dunkirk. Things were just happening on the screen for an hour and 45 minutes. I will say the score is really good. I mean, of course it is. When Hans Zimmer scores a Christopher Nolan film, you know it's gonna be cool. And actually, interesting thing about this score is that you hear a pocket watch ticking in the score. That pocket watch is actually Christopher Nolan's own pocket watch. I read that somewhere. It's really neat. I might get the score. I might not. I don't know. In the end, I know this is a short review for Dunkirk, but there's really not much left to say. The film was really cool to look at, especially in IMAX. The sound was fantastic, but it just fell flat with the characters because I didn't care about any of them, and that just brought the whole movie down for me. But just for the cool visual experience for Dunkirk, I will say, wait until this movie's at a discount theater, then go see it. So Dunkirk, have you seen it? What did you think about it? And what is your favorite Christopher Nolan film so far? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.